In this video, we'll be understanding the manufacturing and packaging processes that occur within a cell. Okay, so for this, we'll be understanding the endoplasmic reticulum, which is responsible for manufacturing of proteins. It contains ribosomes, which we'll be understanding later. So it is a network basically that helps with the transportation and manufacturing of these nutrients. And for this we'll be understanding the cellular network, and over here I'm not talking about the one that is there in your phones, but rather the endoplasmic reticulum. So this is the endoplasmic reticulum. It is a network that surrounds the nucleus of the cell. So it is responsible for basically the communication between the nucleus, which gives the genetic information, instructions to the manufacturing organelles within the cell, which manufacture all the different nutrients and all that. So this provides the transport of it. Okay, so endoplasmic reticulum is a large organelle that spreads like a network within the cytoplasm. So it is within the cytoplasm outside the nucleus. It is continuous with the outer membrane of the nuclear envelope. So it is continuous with the outer envelope of the nuclear membrane over here, as you can see, ensuring a direct pathway for genetic instruction to the manufacturing site. So it ensures the pathway for the instructions to travel from the nucleus to the various manufacturing sites within the cell. These manufacturing sites, we'll understand about them later, what they actually manufacture and what they do. Okay, its structure varies based on the cell's specific functional requirements. So if we are seeing its structure like this in this cell, it may be different in another. Now we'll understand the types of it. So it is of two types. First, over here, this extra R over here stands for rough, and this extra S over here stands for smooth. So rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Over here, the roughness is due to the presence of ribosomes on the rough one. Okay, on the RER, there are ribosomes present which are attached to the surface of it, and these are the primary sites for the production of protein. So they are responsible for protein synthesis and secretion. And the smooth one over here, it lacks those ribosomes. It does not contain those ribosomes. Its appearance is smooth, and this appearance is viewed under an electron microscope. So you cannot see this under a normal microscope or with your naked eye, but when you observe the ER under the microscope, you will be able to spot an RER and an SCR. And its smooth appearance is due to the lack of these ribosomes, and it is responsible for instead the production of fats, which are in the form of lipids, and also hormones. So these are also responsible for the storage of those. So the rough one, RER, they are responsible for protein synthesis, and the SCRs are responsible for the synthesis of and storage of fats and hormones. Okay, so let's look at this. So the key functions of endoplasmic reticulum are synthesis, which is manufacturing station for protein, which is done by RER, and the lipids, fats, which is done by SCRs required by the cell membrane. Transport acts as a channel for the distribution of materials within the cell and to the other organelles. So it acts as a transportation facility as well, which I said it allows for the transfer of information, instructions from the nucleus to the other organelles as well. So it also does the transportation function in this case. And detoxification. So these cells which are present in the liver, they help to detoxify many poisons and drugs. Similarly, that is why liver functions as an organ that digests alcohol as well. Next we'll be studying about the Golgi apparatus. So cells kind of function like factories within our cells. So they have their processes and this specific thing is the post office of the cell. It is responsible for modifying, sorting and packaging of different nutrients. So the Golgi apparatus was named after Camillo Golgi, who first discovered it in 1898. He discovered it in the nerve cell of an owl. So when he was observing the nerve cell of an owl, he used a staining technique, which when we observe a cell under a microscope, we stain it with some sort of dye so that we can clearly see the organelles within the cell. So he used a special staining technique to reveal thread-like network of stacks of flattened. So he discovered these flattened stacks, sac-like structures, and he named them the Golgi apparatus. So cellular post office, that's the Golgi apparatus. So let's see what this does. Modification, the first process of this, as we discussed, it chemically modifies the protein and lipids received from the endoplasmic reticulum to make them functional. So to make those, it makes them more usable, it converts it into a usable format for the cells. Packaging packages materials into small membrane bound vesicles for transport. So it packages them into a easier to transport membrane bound vesicle like structures. Okay. Last thing is lysosome creation. So it is responsible for the creation of lysosomes, which are responsible for waste disposal and digestion basically. So they contain digestive enzymes within them which take in the waste and they digest that and drop them off basically. So this is the manufacturing pathway. So synthesis, proteins are made of ribosomes on the RER surface. So rough endoplasmic reticulum, the protein is made there. Packaging, proteins travel via vesicles to the Golgi apparatus. So they travel to the Golgi apparatus. Over there, sorting process takes place. Golgi modifies the packages from them into new vesicles. And then finally delivery. Vesicles fuse with the cell membrane to release contents. Okay. Next up, another thing we'll study about is lysosomes, which were being produced by Golgi. Okay, lysosomes are single membrane bound sacs filled with the powerful digestive enzymes. So these contain a really powerful digestive enzymes and they break down unwanted proteins, fats and carbohydrates or even damaged organelles, keeping the cell clean. So all of these various things within the cell, if there is anything that is excessive or useless or damaged, these lysosomes over here will digest them. They will eat them up. They are very hungry. Okay, so they have very powerful digestive enzymes which just eat those damaged parts up and they release them within the cytoplasm itself. So the broken down products are often released into the cytoplasm and these products can be reused in some cases. Lysosomes are also sometimes referred to as suicide bags. This is because when the cell becomes too old or damaged, the lysosomes, they serve as a function, they digest the cell itself. What they do is they burst, the lysosomes within the cell, they just burst open and their enzymes are released into the cell itself. And these enzymes start to digest the entire cell. So this programmed destruction is like pre-planned, so it protects the body itself. Like if in a multicellular object, if there are damaged cells, they will get digested instead of causing further damage to the body or further disease to the next cells. So this programmed destruction is why they are often referred to as suicide bags of the cell. So there is the reason. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.